Hello, everyone. My name is Binor Sarkar. I am a research fellow at University of South Australia. I am a member of the executive committee of Clay Minerals Group of the Mineralogical Society. I am very glad to welcome Dr. Ruhaida Rusmin today for an interview as part of the Clay Mineral Group's 75th Jubilee anniversary. A very good morning, Ruhaida. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. Thank you very much, Binay.
I will introduce Ruhaida to you all a little bit more in a minute. Before that, let me please take a moment to explain a little bit about this interview. The Clay Minerals Group has been organizing a series of 12 interviews, so each in month this year, among many other activities to celebrate its 75th Jubilee anniversary. And our aim is to highlight the diversity of minds behind all the outstanding works about clay science that are going on around the world. And our today's interviewee, Dr. Ruhaida Rusmin, is an early career researcher currently working at the Faculty of Applied Sciences, University Technology Mara in Malaysia. She holds more than 15 years of experience in teaching, specializing in chemistry, and currently a senior lecturer at her university. Ruhaida received her PhD in environmental science and engineering from the University of South Australia in the year 2017. Her PhD project involved modification of peligroskite clay mineral as a green adsorbent for the remediation of heavy metals from contaminated water. She has published nearly 20 scientific articles in high-quality journals. And Ruhaida is a recipient of several academic accolades, including Excellent Service Award, Publication Award, and Most Promising Academic Staff Award at her university. Recently, Ruhaida has been also appointed as the coordinator of Research Management Unit at the University Technology Mara Nageri Samblian branch. So on behalf of the Clay Minerals Group, it is my immense opportunity to invite you, Ruhaida, for today's interview to celebrate the Clay Mineral Group's 75th anniversary with us.
Thank you very much, Binoy, for the very kind introduction. Thank you.
So to start the interview, I would first like to know your route to becoming a clay scientist. For example, who inspired you to enter the world of clay research, and how were you introduced to this kind of research overall?
Thank you very much, Binoy. Thank you for the question. So actually, my PhD supervisory team is actually the one that introduced me to the world of clays. So my PhD supervisory team at the University of South Australia, so they are actually, I must say, the one that inspired and also guide me to know more about the clays. Actually, to be honest, before I enroll my PhD research, so I have a very minimal knowledge about clay minerals. And during that time, initially, actually, I was planning to do some research on the zero valent iron. So after the discussion with the supervisory team, so I have been advised to also looking into other alternative natural material because during that time there are perhaps quite a few numbers of zero valent iron research has been carried out. So I know the supervisory teams, they already know the pro and the cons, if let's say I'm going to that direction. So they, give me a chance to, okay, maybe you can have a thought about clay minerals. So, well, during that time, I'll take the challenge, so I give it a try. I must admit that initially it was very challenging because, I have a very minimal background of clay research. But then, once I start, do the review, the literature review works, do some reading, so I found out that there are actually many attractive features of these clay minerals. And, the challenge actually, brings excitement. So the more I read, the more my interest grew. And then because I can apply my chemistry background in understanding the fundamentals and principles of clay minerals. So that's why when I came across a few articles on the polychloride. Okay, so this polychloride, it is abundant in Australia. So, but during that time, from my reading, I think that it is not much being explored in the academic research. So that is why I could see there is a potential for me to, uh, uh, go further with this polychloride clay, particularly for the environmental studies for treating contaminant. So that is why I decided to pursue my PhD research on that particular area, focusing on the modifying of this polychloride clay to improve the lead contaminated water.
Mhm.
And on a larger scale, I think that I am exposed to the world of clays, by engaging with a very strong scientific committees, okay, like those that we see in the clay minerals group of the Mineralogical Society, because they provide, supports, for example, in the form of travel grants, bursaries, and also they allow for knowledge transfer platforms in which, for example, in the form of conference, and will allow, postgrad students and early career researchers like me to learn more. So as a researcher, okay, you receive a lot of, new knowledge, a good exposure, and you don't actually feel alone when doing this research.
Yeah, no, of course. And thank you for this detailed answer. You have brought out how actually a PhD project generally builds up and what should be the roles of PhD supervisors and what should be the role of the candidate. So well done. I think that is a classical example of a successful PhD that you have just explained. And also, I appreciate that you mentioned the role of different professional societies, their support to early career researchers and students to grow and to motivate them, to grow their interest and motivate them continuing this research. Thank you. That's a nice answer. So what type of work in clay science currently you are doing at your job?
Okay. My current interest is on developing clay composites that have magnetic properties and applying them for the purpose of, especially environmental pollutant cleanup. So I have actually received grants to investigate the performance of these magnetic clay minerals, okay, for the dye remediation. And more recently, I think there is one topic that captured my interest, which is the topic of iron adsorption clay, in which this iron adsorption clay as a source of the rare earth element, I think is really a new topic that, it is aligned with the need for, new kind of energy. So in which that I think align with the global climate change and also the call for the zero carbon emission. Nowadays, I think the search for, alternative energy is one of the key interests, and I think from the application of the rare earth element as, one of the material that is needed for example, electrical vehicles.
Mm.
I think this has a potential, okay, future scope studies. If let's say we will be able to retrieve this REE through the ion associated clay. So I
Right.
think these two area is my current interest right now.
No, sounds very exciting and interesting. So, among the classical clay minerals candidates, do you have a favorite clay?
Yes, of course. Actually, I like all clays because every place has its own specific features and it
Mm-hmm.
has own specific properties to suit for many applications. But for me personally, I think kaolinite will be my most favorite clay at this point. This is because in our country, in Malaysia, we have a rich deposit of high quality kaolinite, in which I think it's still underexplored. So it means that there are many opportunities, okay, many areas for us as a scientist to study, okay, to improve for the contribution of the new knowledge and also perhaps okay to help for the sustainable economic growth. So it's still working with clays, okay, particularly with the kaolinite.
Mhm. All right. Yeah, no, that makes good sense because the local availability, local abundance of the raw materials or raw clay mineral is an important thing to make this technology less expensive and better reachable to the stakeholders and end users. So it makes very good sense that you are interested to use kaolinite because it is available in Malaysia in abundance. So thank you. So you would agree with me that the clay science has advanced significantly in the last several decades, and thanks to some outstanding clay scientists that we had. Um, Having that said, do you think there are any special hot issues about clay science that still need to be investigated and need to be understood better? What is your opinion?
Thank you, Binor. So that's quite a tough question, but I think there are many areas that we as a clay scientist can provide meaningful, profitable, and also environmental sustainable contributions. For example, as I mentioned earlier, I think in the field of energy and also the medical applications, so clays, I think can provide many solutions, hopefully deal with the help of good research, so that this clay can be used to solve maybe some of the humanity's biggest challenge in terms of climate change and maybe for the healthy life. And also, in my opinion, I think that the clay minerals can also be used to address the recent problem in regards to the microplastic and nanoplastic pollution. Because I think that with clay minerals, they have very good mechanical properties that can be used as a good support material, to reinforce these packaging materials that hopefully can replace our dependency on the synthetic polymer. And related to that, okay, to address the global pollution in regards to the microplastics and also the nanoplastics.
Yeah.
And I think in addition is in regards to the safety of the engineered nanomaterials. As you know that we have a lot of engineered nanomaterials, including in agrochemicals and medicines. But in terms of life cycle analysis, of engineered nanomaterials, is still an emerging concern in regards to its fate, the mobility, and also the transformation when it is entering the environment. So clay, since it is less toxic, it is highly abundant, I think this material can be a good candidate to actually becoming one of the engineered material that is environmental benign and also suitable for its application, especially towards the environment. So I think these are the three areas that clay scientists and also this field can contribute to the humanity and also to the knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I agree with you that this clay science has immense potential to tackle some of the big challenges that we are facing in the world today, including climate change, then energy crisis, and then the microplastics. That is an interesting one you mentioned. And yes, I agree with you that especially the materials that are being produced from bio polymer, if we can include clay additives in them, their stability and longevity of the product can increase significantly. So yeah, you have mentioned several points which probably can be the future research topics for upcoming PhD or master students. So thank you for shedding some lights on them. So following up to that question, like you have already given some research, potential research topics for new researchers, I would like to ask you, like, what additional advice you would give to the students or early career researchers who are interested to start a career in clay science?
Okay, thank you, Renai. As an early career researcher, there are many things that I still need to learn. But I think my advice to the young researcher like me, perhaps, and also to the students is there are two. Number one is you need to be ready to learn new things, and number two is you need to take all the opportunity to learn and explore about this kind of material. So in regards to this, I would like to share some of my experience, Dr. Binor. Okay, I think that it is very important for the early career researcher or students, postgraduates to get involved with the professional society. Okay, like for those in the, for example, the clay minerals group. Okay, because I believe that there are many good exposure, experience, networking that could be established, when we enroll with this society. And another thing is, as clay minerals deposits, widely distributed in many countries. My suggestion is you could, find one that is close to your country and origin, and then study them and use that knowledge to create advanced materials for many novel applications. That perhaps from that findings you will be able to tackle one of our generation's hard pressed issues, like those you have mentioned just now. For example, climate change, environmental issues, or improving the human health. So I would like to add more on this as well, Binor. Okay, in regards to the engagement with the society. Very recently, I received an invitation to virtually present my research at the 75th Jubilee anniversary of the Clay Minerals Group. Of course, during that time, I am not able to attend in person due to the COVID-19 restrictions. But the organizers, they tried their best to to ensure that I can join the session virtually. So I think with that kind of support, welcoming attitude towards the young researchers, and how they open for inclusivity, diversity, can actually makes the clay minerals community one of the best professionals communities. So that's why I think I would like to encourage those early career researchers, to join all this society. give good exposure to you, and also to improve your communication skill, professional skills, and also to build the relevant networks. I
Yeah.
think that's my advice.
No, I absolutely agree with you. We need to tell the young students about it and ignite their interest. And the rest of the things,
Indeed,
we have
indeed.
a good systems, supports from everyone, including our professional societies. So yeah, thank you for that answer. So you are a seasoned teacher because you have significant a number of years of experience in teaching, and you have handled many students from diverse backgrounds and everything. So what would be your advice? Because when we do research, especially, we are not always get the results that we want. Okay, so some experiments may fail. So what would be your advice to young students or newly, enrolling students when they see that one of their experiments is not successful?
Yes, I admit, well, in research, okay, I think that it is normal for us, to receive like negative results. I mean, the results that we are not looking for. I think this is kind of normal, okay. But for me, what is important is how do you deal with these negative results or maybe unsuccessful, research findings. I think that is the most important. In my opinion, okay, as a researcher, we need to be positive. We need to, because negative results also is kind of results, but more importantly is how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Because when you have negative results, it's actually teach you better in terms of understanding. Try to find what is the reasons of such failures, and it teach you also hard work. It teaches you about perseverance in dealing with all these, results that may not, align with what you expected for. So I think the positive minds and attitudes is very important to face with this kind of challenge, and I think never give up is one of another, advice that I think I will share, because sometimes the negative result is actually leading to a new knowledge. As for example, if I may share the for my experience, I'm dealing with kaolinan. So as you know, kaolinan it has a little bit challenge in terms of perhaps maybe due to its low substitution and also the unswelling behavior of this material. So if when we compare with other 2-to-1 clay types minerals, so it might be have a lower performance in terms of its, for example, removal or exertion capacity. For if let's say we would like to apply it in remediating like contaminated heavy metals or maybe dyes or other pollutants. However, okay, despite of that, when we do a series of investigations through, for example, the SEM, TEM, BSM, and so on, although we are not getting the result that we are expected for, when we do the modification, but we found out that in one aspect, this material is actually much more stable in terms of the interaction between the kaolinan and also the iron oxide.
Right.
If we compare with other types of material. So looking at that, we are positive that perhaps maybe, although it might have, less performance for that particular area, so with further investigation, we might be able to come out with maybe a new kind of application for this type of material. So it's just about, you need to do more research, more reading to find out, what are the potential application for that kind of material.
Yes.
So I think that is something that maybe,
No, your answer would be encouraging to early career researchers and new students, because yes, we should never give up. We should find out whatever result we are getting. We should find out from literature, from our reading, consulting with our supervisors and peers why this is happening, and we may end up finding a new application.
Yes, yes,
So,
I
and you
do
have given a
agree.
very good example. Yes. Thank you, Ruhaida. I think our discussion is going very well. And so far, I have asked you some tough questions, but now let's move to a little bit a lighter part of this conversation. So, can you give us an example of your kind of proudest or greatest moment in your career when since you have started working in clay science?
Thank you very much, Binor, for the question. Oh, I like this question. Okay. There are many proud moments when I involved with clay minerals. Okay. So, however, I think perhaps the one that one of the greatest memory I think is actually when I'm given the opportunity to present my research at Euroclick conference in 2015.
Right. I went there too.
Yeah, that was held in Scotland. When I was a child, I always dreamed to visit Scotland, the Highlands. So when the opportunity is given, so it's like a dream come true to me. And then I still remember when I go and participate in the Euroclay 2015. So I get a very good support from the organizer, the participants, and during that time, I think that I do learn a lot. And from the feedback that I received from the conference, the networking, and then as I mentioned, the people are very encouraging. So it as an early career researcher, it makes me confidence. It builds my confidence, and you feel that okay, you are not alone, and then it tells you that your research is important.
Yes.
So I think this is a very good start for me. I think to go deeper into this clay research. And I still remember, I received the award in front of about I think 200 audience, and I think my supervisors also there. So I think that kind of exposure is one of the meaningful time for me, and it, as I mentioned, it's a boost my confidence to pursue with this kind of research.
Yeah.
And then another moment, as being as early career researcher. So when I came back to Malaysia after I finished my PhD, so now I was given a grant. Okay, in fact, I have received 2 grants, and I would really like to, extend my acknowledgement to the Ministry of Higher Education of Malaysia, and also to my university, University Technology Mara, for giving me the research grants, the support in terms of technical facilities to pursue my research on the clay minerals. So being as an early researcher, when you receive a grant, okay, so it tells you that okay, now you have the responsibility, and then now it actually leads you as doing research independently.
Yes.
So I think these two are actually 2 great moments that I really appreciate.
Thank you. And again, you have pointed out the roles of clay minerals group, especially for the support they have given you for attending this conference, and that was fruitful for you. That's very good to know from our side, from the clay minerals group side, and also the support from university research funding agencies, etc. Yes, they can of course boost our motivation to do new things more innovative things.
Yeah, I agree, Binor. Because when I came to Euroclay, I was given a support, including from the Clay Minerals group. So with that support, you give the exposure and opportunity to the early career researcher to do the networking and then get to know with other prominent researchers.
Yes.
So I think this is a very good support that can actually enhance the career growth of the early career researcher.
Yes. No, thank you for that answer. So another light question: when you do not work, or when you do not, when you are not involved in any academic activities, how you spend your time? What is your kind of hobbies, etc.?
Okay, for your information, Binor, I am a proud mother of 3 young, energetic kids.
Yes.
So I guess cooking perhaps is a clear-cut hobby for me. Okay, but I also love reading. I enjoy read books, and I'm very fortunate because my kids also share the same hobby. So each time when we go, like for example sightseeing or we visiting to other places. So one of the place that we are looking for is there any bookshops that we could visit. So and we also love to go to beach and historical places. So particularly for the beach, the kids enjoyed it very much. So we are lucky because in hereby in Malaysia and in close to our hometown we have a beach as well. So we always take the opportunity during our free time to go there. And maybe perhaps because after like 3.5 years staying in Australia, so the kids really enjoy the beach. So hopefully we will be able to come to maybe Australia and enjoy the beach again.
Yes, of course, you are most welcome to visit in Adelaide anytime.
Sure.
Yeah. No, thank you, Ruhaida. So another question. So do you have any hero or heroine in clay science you admire the most, or you want to be like them? Do you have any people like that?
Okay. You mean besides my supervisor? Okay. Yeah. I think there are many prominent clay scientists that have contribute a lot to the enhancement of the clay minerals, in which I think we should acknowledge them for all the huge effort. In regard to that, I think there is one, for me personally, there is one particular person that I think is kind of hero, as you mentioned. So and if let's say I have the opportunity to interview, so maybe I will choose him, which is Professor Ian McKinnon from QUT, University of Technology, Australia. There are a few reasons why I think that he has a special I like him because he is one of the clay scientists that gives inspiration in terms of he, I believe, has enrolled in many clay research. Okay, and also he's a very supportive, knowledgeable person. So I have actually have opportunity to meet him once. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in around 2017, and he shared with me a very good advice, and then give some idea in terms of what the area of clay minerals that can I try. That is also including trying something that we have in our local country. For example, as I mentioned just now about kaolinite. So he actually one of the person that actually give me an idea. Maybe Ruhaida, when you go back to Malaysia, you can also have a look into the kaolinite, because kaolinite is abundant in Malaysia. So it's kind of inspiration, and also his dedication to the clay work society, clay works. I
Yeah.
think that's why I'm inspired by him.
Yeah, no, thank you, thank you. Yes, Jan is a very prominent, and he has contributed a lot in the clay science in Australia. No, thank you very much, Ruhaida, for answering all these questions. And some of these questions probably you might not have expected. So thank you for answering them all. I also highly appreciate your passion and dedication for clay science and to contribute to the a bigger community, helping tackling some of the big issues about environmental contamination and using a natural material to solve it. And I think you should also be an example to all the women scientists out there, because being a mother of 3 young children, your achievements have been outstanding. So thank you very much for being us today, Ruhaida.
Thank you very much.
And it was a great pleasure to talk to you. And I wish you all the best in your research and academic careers. Do you have any final words?
Thank you, Binor. Yes, I would like to take this opportunity, Binor, to thank you, okay, for the session, and also I would like to extend my appreciation to the Clay Minerals Group of the Mineralogical Society for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. And I wish you congratulations for the 75, Jubilee anniversary. Okay, for the Clay Minerals Group. And also I would like to say thank you to my Ministry of Higher Education of Malaysia, my university, University of Jumara, my family, my friends, colleagues, my students, that all that has give all the supports for me to be at here, and then also I would like to extend this appreciation to all people that indirectly or directly supporting me to at this stage. So thank you very much, Binor. I really appreciate also this session. And I hope that we can meet again one more day, one time again.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. No, thank you, Ruhaida. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And also, I would conclude this session by saying to the viewers who would be watching this video that please take the example of Ruhaida, a very energetic and early career researcher who comes from a diverse background. Who comes from a diverse language background, who comes from diverse gender background, who is a mother of 3 children. So take her example, and please come to join clay science, do more for clay science, and try to solve some biggest problem of the earth, of the world, by using this natural material, beautiful natural materials. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention and watching this video. Thank you. Thank you, Ruhaida.
Thank you very much, Binor, and thank you, everyone.